So I wanted to talk a little bit tonight about an idea that's been running through my head, and it relates to the similarities between the development of consciousness, cognitive development, and the genesis of life on this planet. And I think the process is similar in an abstract sense. I'd like to sort of explain that a little bit. What I've read seems to indicate that what we call evolution is actually not pure evolution. I think of evolution as being natural selection, mutation, natural selection, okay? But I don't think it's sufficient to explain everything, okay? What we've noticed with the historical record through proxies is that it goes through this phenomenon called punctuated equilibrium. That is, life will tend to be very stable for long periods of time and then change very suddenly and very drastically. The same is true for consciousness. Now, the consciousness will evolve. There will be some mutation, but most of the mutations get thrown away. The idea is that it's perfecting a pre-existing paradigm or a pre-existing mental structure or pre-existing phenotype, okay? And this period of evolution is where it's refining the phenotype or refining the mental structure. And then it will run into a problem it can no longer solve, okay? And it needs to transcend that problem. It needs to transcend itself in order to solve that problem. And with mental structures, we'll create a new one, but I'm making it sound like it's easy. It's not easy. It's very troublesome and very difficult, because in a lot of cases people don't even understand. They have no concept that other mental structures are even available to them, that they are able to transcend their way of thinking, that they can go to a higher level of cognitive development. Most people are completely unaware that this is available to them, okay? And the same thing for species. The species doesn't know that it can transcend these problems. It's stuck in its evolutionary ruts, pursuing its own, refinement of whatever its phenotype is to be the best at what it does, okay? And suddenly it's faced with this problem where what it does is no longer sufficient for it to survive. It needs to do something radically different, okay? So this is where punctuated equilibrium comes in. This is where transcendence comes in. And the transcendence is usually some kind of error that normally would be just thrown away, discarded, would actually be something that would be detrimental to its fitness. But in this particular case, it may try something completely radical, and if it succeeds, well, great, it's got another phenotype it can pursue along the evolutionary path, okay? And this is how different species develop. This is how different levels of cognitive development work as well, okay? So I guess what I wanted to put out there was this idea that evolution isn't a straight line. Cognitive development isn't a straight line. It's these phase cycles, these cycles of development where we evolve and refine, and then when we run into a problem we have to transcend, and that gives us something new to evolve around, okay? So it's this constant cycle of evolve and transcend, evolve and transcend. And the same is true for life and species, that there's no reason for life to change until it runs into a problem it can no longer solve using the established phenotypes or the established methods. So that's all I'm going to say for now. Thanks. Bye.